Welcome back to the channel. In today's review, I'm reviewing the 2023 Toyota Crown. This is the XLE trim. I'm not a big fan of the wheels already. We'll talk about that once we do an actual walk around of the vehicle. And this is Toyota's flagship vehicle. They killed off the Avalon for 2022. So if you guys are still looking for the Avalon, you don't like the Crown, you guys can still pick one up at your local Toyota dealerships if they have some in stock. But keep in mind, 2022 was the final production for the Avalon here in the United States. This vehicle has been sold overseas for plenty of years. This is the first time that it's making its way to the US shores for 2023. This vehicle has tons of tech, great powertrain. We'll talk about that once we get into the actual video. But I would like to give a special thanks to South Dade Toyota for giving me time with the 2023 Toyota Crown XLE. Starting price is at $39,955. This one comes equipped at $42,266. If you guys are on the market for a Toyota, be sure to check out South Dade Toyota and ask for Tony, and he will get you into your next vehicle. Let's take a look at the flagship vehicle for Toyota. It's kind of weird to see that Toyota is bringing back a sedan to be their flagship vehicle when this segment of full-size sedan is basically going to be killed off very, very soon. Some other competitors already killed up their full-size sedans in their portfolio. But this model is painted in black. It does have some silver painted trim. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the Toyota Crown. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of the wheels. We'll talk about that once we get to the actual side profile. Looking at these headlights here, they're gonna be a full LED projector headlight with the LED turn signal with this LED daytime running light. There's this LED portion here which lights up at night, which I haven't seen in person. But right here is going to be for the driver's assistance tech. This is for the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. There's the Toyota logo there. It doesn't have the blue background, but keep in mind all Crowns come as a full hybrid. There's no fog lights, but there's some silver painted trim. I like the nice pattern and texture here in the actual grille. It does give me the newer Prius type style cues here and there. But looking at the side profile, this has a 112.1 inch wheelbase with an overall length of 196.1. So it does have plenty of interior space. This vehicle does have a taller roof line in this vehicle. And this also has 5.8 inches of ground clearance. So it does have that sedan and SUV type step-in height. It doesn't have the lower like sports-like design like some other sedans in this dying segment. But looking at these tires and wheels here, these tires are a 225/55 Bridgestone tire. These are wrapped in a 19-inch rim design. Like I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of the multi-spoke, but it does have a nice gloss black and chrome finish there. On the other trim levels, I actually like the wheels, but not on this XLE. There's some gloss painted trim here, but you guys can't really see it because of the black exterior paint. There's this LED sight marker here with some chrome around the actual window trim. And my model does not have a panoramic sunroof, so you have more head clearance in the actual vehicle. There's this floating like roof design here to give it more of that sleek design. And you guys will think that this is the actual hatchback, but it's not. It's just like a traditional sedan. The taillights here are gonna be a full LED, which is a turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. It says Crown here, which is spelled out with the Toyota logo. Backup camera is there, and this also has all-wheel drive. If you guys are wondering where the trunk release button is, it's right here. Press that there. The trunk does not power open. You have to manually open it. Once it opens up, it reveals 15.9 cubic feet of space. Underneath here, you do get a spare tire, which looks like a full-size spare tire. And the seats also fold down in a 60/40 manner. And before I forget, you guys are wondering, does it have exhaust tips? No, because it's a full-on hybrid. The reverse lights live down here with these large reflectors. But overall, the Crown is going to be very practical, especially if you guys want a lot of cargo space. Sitting in the interior of the flagship Toyota Crown, this is the XLE trim. Keep that in mind, guys. So some other trim levels are going to look a little bit more different compared to this XLE that I'm showing you guys today. You also have standard, guys. Standard, which is surprising to see, these massive 12.3-inch displays here. This is for the driver, which is the instrument cluster, and this infotainment system here, which runs the newer Toyota interface, which supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto S wireless. This is the current key fob here for the Crown, which has a lock, unlock, trunk release, a panic button, but it does not say Crown on the back of the key fob. So I'm not sure if the Platinum model might say Crown, but it does have the Toyota logo here at the lower part of the key fob. But to start up the vehicle, just put your foot on the brake and press the power button here. I'm surprised to see that it's not accented blue, but it does start up not using the gas engine, but it uses the electric motors and batteries to start up this vehicle. And as you guys can see, the screens are very bright, very well laid out. But shutting the door here, This rides on the same platform as the Avalon, Camry, and some of Toyota's other products as well. So really good platform here. The materials are going to be a nice soft touch material with this chrome accented door handle. It is automatic up and down for all four windows, which is really nice. You can power fold the mirrors in via this switch here. As you guys can see, they will power fold in and out. And you can also adjust the mirrors via this knob here. Your lock controls, you can lock the windows there. Your automatic high beam switch is up here with the washer fluid, it looks like, or this button here for the defroster, if I'm not mistaken. Over is going to be for your trip reset computer and your illumination switch. The turn signal and headlight stock is here. Wind wiper stock is there. Typical Toyota switch gear, which feels nice. Nice leather here. It feels really high quality. That's a new Toyota emblem here on the airbag cover. I've never seen this logo any other product, so this has to be a new emblem here for the company. Over is for your driver's assistance tech, which runs their Toyota 3.0 system, which is a newer generation. Over is for the volume here, just switch up and down, of course, to adjust the volume to your liking. There's a sync and track. There's your different modes here for the radio, and your voice control is here. This is a 3-spoke wheel design. Looks really nice. Kind of reminds me of the Prius's wheel, but not too futuristic looking, but it does look really nice. But there's some copper trim here on the upper portion of the dashboard. No heads-up display. I think maybe in the Platinum you can probably get heads-up display. But this 12.3-inch instrument cluster here is customizable. Just rest your finger here. You can switch it from 3 different settings here to show you different stuff. Like, for example, your messages. You can put it and show the adaptive cruise control. There's another blank page here, so you can customize the screen to your liking. Also show the all-wheel drive is being sent in, your tire pressure, all-wheel drive system again, which is their Toyota on-demand all-wheel drive system, and there's adaptive cruise control. This vehicle does have really good driver's assistance tech, especially for this being the 3.0. It's a newer generation of driver's assistance, and down here is going to be additional storage and cup holder space. Very large cup holder, so if you guys have those big drinks from 7-Eleven, you can fit that in there, because look how massive that is. Looking over here at the Toyota interface here, this is their newer screen design, which it really doesn't have a home page, but this is how it looks. You guys can also pay a subscription fee and whatnot. This shows you your climate control. Going back here, there's your energy flow here. It shows you what the battery is doing, and the battery pack lives underneath the rear seat, so Toyota didn't compromise cargo space for the new Crown. And this is for the CarPlay here. Shows really nice. I like the way the screen looks here. Looking at the Waze display, it takes up the full 12.3-inch display. There's this bezel piece here, but the screen looks even larger as well. There's a volume knob here. There's some tune knobs, so I'm pretty sure you guys have to look through that. The tune feature through the Toyota interface system there. There's 3-level heated seats here. You guys can get cool seats, but I'm pretty sure you have to go for a limited or platinum trim in order to get the cool seats. I like the nice buttons here. It feels really high quality. I like the way that they feel. There's a wireless phone charger here. My iPhone 14 Pro Max fits just fine. And I do have this somewhat thick of a case here, but it fits in there just fine. There's 2 Type-C ports, 2 cup holders, and this is the shifter that's kind of off of Prius. In order to go into neutral there, just hold it to the side, and to go into reverse, just switch up here, and to go into drive, just go like this and switch it down. And that's how you guys go into drive. And to go into park, just click the P button there. This is your drive mode selector here, which shows you normal, eco, and sport. It shows a nice graphic of the Crown, which is really nice. There's an auto hold EV mode, so you guys can trickle around in EV mode if you're in a parking garage or your neighborhood. This vehicle does get really good fuel economy. There's electronic parking brake here, and your traction control is there. Open this up. It does reveal a 2-tier storage in there, so the passenger can also open it, so they don't have to reach over to the driver's side to open it. So it is nice that Toyota does give you that here to open up the center console. And it's going to be nicely padded. The seats in here, I like the fabric or cloth-like material that they use with the nice copper piping here. They feel very durable, very supportive. Over is going to be a soft touch material. So the materials in this vehicle is not bad for this to be an XLE. I'm pretty sure if you guys go for a limited or a platinum model, the materials are going to get even better, because this is their flagship vehicle. Looking at the glove compartment, it does offer pretty good storage in there. It's like a 2-tier storage if I'm not mistaken, but it does offer good storage. It fits the owner's manual in there just fine. This also has an auto dimming rearview mirror with their 3-car garage setup there. Press this here, there's some LED like accent lights at the cabin, and there's also LED lights in the back as well. Putting the vehicle into reverse, like I mentioned, just push over here and push up. It does reveal the backup camera. This does not have the top-down 360-degree camera, but there's a wide angle. This also has a rear cross traffic alert, so the vehicle will sense that there's something coming. If you don't pay attention before, it will put on the brakes for you so you don't run into anything, which is super important, especially if you're a distracted driver. But you should really be paying attention to the road. Overall, the materials are pretty premium in this vehicle for this to be the XLE trim. The tech is good, the driver assistance is good as well. The powertrain, we'll talk about that once we get behind the wheel. Let's get into the back seat of the Toyota Crown. Open up the rear door here. This vehicle offers tons of interior space for this to be like a traditional sedan. But getting inside this vehicle, like I mentioned, it does have 5.8 inches of ground clearance. So good step in height. I'm gonna shut the door here. The door sounds pretty solid. The materials are gonna be a soft touch material with this chrome accented door handle. The switch gear feels really good as well. It's gonna be nicely padded here on the door panel. There's this Carper-like trim here. Cup holder and storage space down there is going to be padded here as well. There's 2 map pockets back here also with rear air vents, 2 USB charging ports. The floor back here is not flat, but you can fit 3 people across. And like I mentioned from the front seats, I love the nice cloth. It feels very durable and very supportive. More of that Carper-like piping is continuing onto the back seats here. Pull this down, it does reveal 2 cup holders. I'm surprised to see that there's no storage here, but there's 2 cup holders, which is nice. And the same cloth material is carried over, or fabric is carried over to rest your elbows. And up here is going to be full LED lights throughout the cabin. And my particular model does not have that large panoramic sunroof, but you guys can get it if you would like. But overall, the back seat of the Crown does have plenty of space to have your rear passengers very comfortable, especially if you guys are looking to do a short or long commute around town. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the Toyota Crown. Like I mentioned, all Crowns come with Toyota's hybrid system. This is Toyota's 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, which makes a combined 236 horsepower. As this vehicle sits here with all-wheel drive, it weighs in at 3,900 pounds. This is also paired with an eCVT transmission. If you guys go for the Platinum with the Hybrid Max powertrain, that will get the 6-speed automatic transmission. I can't wait to drive that vehicle because it has nearly 400 pound-feet of torque. And this vehicle also has Toyota's on-demand all-wheel drive system. It's a pretty good all-wheel drive system. But let's talk about fuel economy here for the Toyota Crown. This is why you guys go for the Crown, because you guys want that standard hybrid powertrain. Since this is the XLE model, this gets 42 in the city, 41 on the highway, and 41 combined. So I'm behind the wheel of this all-new generation here in America, which is the Toyota Crown. Toyota has been selling this overseas for plenty of years, probably even decades. This vehicle just came to the United States for 2023. It's replacing the Toyota Avalon, which is kind of weird in a sense because a lot of manufacturer they're leaving the full-size sedan segment. So it is kind of weird to see that Toyota is still playing in this segment, but this is the flagship for the company, which I thought they would have the Highlander, maybe the Tundra, or maybe even the RAV4, which those vehicles sell really good numbers. But this vehicle just came out for this model year, so I'm not gonna talk about sales too much because it's a fairly new vehicle. But a lot of people look at this car and they try to figure out what is it. It looks like a sedan with crossover like DNA. It has 5.8 inches of ground clearance, so pretty good step in height. It's not traditional like a traditional sedan would be with a lower step in height. Visibility wise, great sight lines. This A-pillar is somewhat thin but somewhat thick a little bit, so it's like in between. And right now I have the vehicle in its eco mode here, and we're driving really good, recuperating some power to put into the battery pack, which lives underneath the rear seat, so it does not compromise cargo if you guys are looking for that large cargo space. This vehicle is a pretty big vehicle at 196.1 inches, so it's a pretty long vehicle, good wheelbase and whatnot. I don't feel like I'm driving something big. It looks very spaceship-like in a sense, very futuristic styling. It kind of reminds me of the newer generation Prius from certain angles, especially in the front fascia. But Toyota, you did a really good job when it came to exterior styling. But let's talk about the powertrain specs. This has the company's 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, which makes a combined 236 horsepower, and the gas engine just came back on. Since it came back on, let's do an acceleration run here. It's put into its sport mode, which has a nice graphic of the Crown right there. I'm gonna turn off the traction control and see what happens. I'm just gonna floor it. And the electric assist makes this vehicle feel very peppy. It's pretty good, adequate power. But going around this corner here, keeping it in the sport mode, I do feel a little bit of the body lean. This vehicle weighs in at 3,900 pounds. The battery pack is pretty small. It could move this vehicle around at very low speeds. But this vehicle has a really good ride quality. It's buttery smooth. and I can put it back into its eco mode here, which most people are going to drive this vehicle in. I'm pretty sure they're not going to drive it in sport mode, but it does give you that electric car like acceleration, which has that instantaneous torque. Like I mentioned, 236 horsepower. If you guys go for the hybrid max powertrain, that would have 400 pound-feet of torque, and I think between 350 to 375 horsepower. So it does have way more horsepower compared to the entry-level Crown here, which has 236 horsepower combined. The seats in here are very supportive, very comfortable. I like the nice cloth with the carper accents throughout this vehicle. Even on the seats, on the piping, it has the carper accents, which is really nice. It gives this vehicle a premium like feel. I'm pretty sure if you guys go for a different trim level, which is a limited or platinum, the materials are going to get even better. For this to be an entry-level Crown, it still offers good materials in this vehicle. But I like the way the vehicle drive. It handles good. Right now I'm in the parking lot again where I just left from, and it does a good job. The gas engine is off, but I'm using the electric battery to basically just coast along here, not polluting. It's just basically getting the best MPG. With that being said, this vehicle is ready to get 42 in the city, 41 on the highway, and 41 combined. So you guys are not sacrificing anything. You're actually gaining when it comes to actual fuel economy instead of having a thirsty V6 in the vehicle. It's nice that Toyota does give you the hybrid option in the Crown, so you guys are not sacrificing when it comes to the actual pump or putting money once again into a thirsty V6. Yeah, the V6 is a good powertrain from Toyota, but let's be honest, guys, they're going to kill that off in the Camry. So we should be expecting a newer generation of the Camry sometime towards the end of the year, or not towards the end of the year, maybe the beginning of 2024. But who knows how the Camry will look? Maybe just like the Prius, maybe just like the Crown. It might have a look in between both vehicles. But overall, I like the Crown. I like what it stands for. It shows that the company is being serious about having this as their flagship, especially with the materials, the tech, the driver's assistance. This has Toyota's 3.0 system, which includes emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring. All the nice safety features basically is in their newer generation of their driver's assistance tech, which is pretty good. Overall, I think the Crown is a really good flagship for the company. I'm surprised that they didn't make it an SUV, and once again, I'm surprised that they actually put it as a sedan, because like I mentioned, this segment is dying. After spending time with the 2023 Toyota Crown XLE, like I mentioned from the outside, seeing this vehicle has a sedan and an SUV combination like look to it, giving it that tall profile. But this vehicle also has 5.8 inches of ground clearance, so it still has that traditional sedan step in height, but it's just a little bit lifted compared to a traditional sedan. But I like the nice, elegant, very sleek looking styling from this vehicle. I don't like the wheels, like I mentioned from the outside. Seeing the tech is good, the hybrid powertrain is good as well. All Crowns, like I mentioned, do come standard with a hybrid powertrain. I want to hold final judgment for the top end dog, which is the Platinum, which has a hybrid max powertrain, which makes nearly 400 pound-feet of torque. I can't wait to drive that vehicle very soon once the dealership gets one in stock. But other than that, I think the Crown is a really good thing. Toyota did kill out the Avalon, so now this is the flagship. So I think Toyota did a really good job making this vehicle their flagship vehicle. With that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this full review on the Crown XLE. Be sure to check me out on Instagram at @DriveOnReviews. Hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, and I will see you all in the next video.